Yo, welcome to the New Normal Podcast. Where we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Where up is down is up, right is wrong, and wrong is right. Hot is cold and cold is hot. We don't know what we're doing nowadays. So that's why we had this podcast here to talk about all the things that were not normal that are normal today. Today we're gonna be talking about self-love, and I got my boy Brad here with me. You want to tell the people what's up?
Man, toast making shot takes and pulse takes, man. This your boy Sir Bradley Ashton, man. Back at it again, my boy Sig. Gonna have a nice topic for y'all this evening.
I want to officially give you an apology. I got to give you an apology because I could have sworn I told you that we was gonna pod today, but when I looked at the message, it showed said Saturday, and I ended up podding doing another podcast, and it's crazy because it's so many people like they want to work and do some things, so I just been like
Oh
booking.
no, man! Look, I wasn't tripping, man. I was like, oh shit, I had seen that shit too. I was like, oh okay. I'm like, hey, I ain't look, ain't no on my bet,
Yeah, so my
but
bad.
I know how I be.
Yeah, I don't want you to think I just pushed you off and just like fuck that nigga. I'm finna do this shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be like that. I don't want no hard
Yeah.
feelings. Yeah, but today we talking about self love. Self love. What that look like? You think we know what that look like today in today's time?
Oh man, self love, man. That shit is because everybody got their own definition of what they think self love is. So I think it's just one of those things where it kind of depends on the person.
Yeah, I think in this era where we got so many people talking about being toxic, it seems like we don't even know what love looks like. I don't think people even have a whiff of it or even experienced it, have seen it. Even what we I guess look at in movies and what we see on TV, and I guess the Disney movies. I think that's probably all the love that most people see when it comes to like
Mhm.
romantic type love. But there's never anything to showing people how we should love ourselves. And that is a scary thing because we see so many people use harmful outlets to find love. Well, if it's
Mm.
romantic, if it's drugs, if it's sex, if it's adrenaline, if it's something crazy like skydiving or like we always use like bad outlets or for to find love, and a lot of people don't want to sit with themselves or understand how to love themselves enough to be by themselves, and that's a scary thing and a scary situation when you have so many people um that commit suicide, especially like during the pandemic. We had so many people committing suicide because of said pandemic, being by yourself, lonely, segregated. You have nobody to talk to and to mingle with and go out and party, and a lot of those things that were just mitigating factors for taking time away from yourself to actually learning who you are. So, like I said, it's just a scary time, and I just want to know what you see, what the landscape of what you've seen from like social media, people that you're around. How do self care or self love, or what do you think self love should look like?
I mean, I think you kind of alluded to a little bit where you said self love, being able to just sit with yourself and sit with your thoughts. I think we, as a generation, we're so used to hearing
Hey, I
other
think
people's
I think
thoughts.
I think your headphones are breaking up.
Hold up, let me see. Let me just take them out. Let's see if that'll work.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, you sound much better.
All right. So I think you kind of hit it on the head where you said being able to sit with yourself. I think with us living in a fast-paced world and we're constantly hearing, a lot of other people's thoughts and listening to different people, listening to different music, taking in so much content at one time. We're inundated with so many different ideas and thoughts that we don't really have time to really sit with our own thoughts. Where it gets to a point where our thoughts become other people's thoughts. Um, like one thing that I try to do when I wake up in the morning is I try not to like listen to any music or open up YouTube until
Hey,
like an
hey,
hour in the day.
hold on real quick. I'm finna kick you from the studio real quick, and then I'm finna resend the link and hit it because it got like a weird pixely
Like a
sound.
feedback.
Yeah, it's like a feedback or something. I'm gonna kick you out. I'm gonna send it right back to you.
Okay.
All right, hold on. My bad, beautiful people out there. I don't know if it's my internet. My internet been kind of like it's really been kind of shitty lately, and so hey, Brad, if you watch it, I'm finna send it back on Messenger again like that, so you can yeah, you can I just sent it, so hit it again and see what it do. Oh, all right, he back, y'all. Let's see what he got going on. Let's see. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there we go. That sound perfect though. That sound there we go. All right, go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
But yeah, man, I think man, being able just to sit with your own thoughts, man. Not feeling like you got to be distracted or being inundated with other people's thoughts, man. Because I think the more you do that, the more that you kind of not necessarily lose yourself, but you're not really thinking for yourself anymore. You're not able to, just be with yourself. Like I don't know if you follow 19 Keys.
Nah, I don't follow him, but I seen a couple of his videos.
Something I said I was gonna start doing, and it's really difficult than what somebody may think, but he was like at a point of the day, whether it be in the morning when you first wake up or in the middle of the day or before you go to bed, he was like just sit in silence for like 30 minutes. And I tried doing that shit before, man, and it's really difficult when you talking about like just really just sitting in silence. You ain't got no television on, you don't have no music playing. It's just you just hearing just a rumbling from your AC, and you really got to sit with yourself. And that shit, it's shit hard, bro. Like because you're so used to listening to music, or hell, even if it's not necessarily lyrical music, or listen to like meditative music, or listening to the television in the background, like really just sitting with yourself. Um, so I was like, damn, like I'm gonna start doing that, man, because that's really practicing self mastery. I feel like you can't really talk about self care if you don't know how to master yourself and knowing how to be disciplined with yourself and your thoughts.
You know what's crazy when you said that about sitting 30 minutes just in peace and quiet. The thing about people that meditate, sometimes they have to have mantras. And the reason they have those mantras like or certain sounds and stuff like that is because they're trying to quiet the mind and they haven't gotten to a level where they can meditate in peace. So they have a mantra because their mind is going so rapidly and so fast and so many thoughts. It's hard to just go to a point in your mind where your mind is still. It's funny because when me and my wife first got together, I'll be sitting on the couch and she'll be like, "What's on your mind?" And I was like, "Baby, my mind, I'm in a nothing box, right?" And she was like, "A nothing box?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said, I'm in a nothing box. And she was like, "What is that?" Like, "Oh, nothing, like nothing's there." I'm like, "I'm literally sitting here in peace and I have nothing on my mind. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm not thinking about you. I'm not thinking about me. I'm just it's nothing there." She was like, I don't have a nothing box. I don't know how to get to a nothing box. That's weird. This is my first time ever hearing anybody telling me that they have a nothing box. And she was so like, I guess, astonished or like taken back from it. She
Mm.
said she had went to the people at work and she like, do y'all have a nothing box? And everybody was like, no, we don't have a nothing box. So she came back and told me, and they said, they nobody had a nothing box. And I was like, did you ask women did they have nothing box? Or was it a mixed group? And she was like, no, it was all women. I was like, well, that's part of it. I said, most women mind have to keep going. I said, when a woman mind stop, it's kind of like y'all pretty much dead. I said, if you can master that where you could get to a point where you do it yourself, it's a difference. But y'all got so much wrapped up into y'all minds of what's going on, washing dishes. And like I said, women minds are like a ball of yarn and men's minds is like a box, and we compartmentalize different shit. So like when I'm in a nothing box, the box I'm in is nothing in there. It's just mine's peaceful space, right?
Yeah.
And so she said she asked some of the fellas at work, and she was like, a couple of them said they did have nothing box, and most of them said they didn't. And I was like, okay, well, as long as I'm not the only one who said they got a nothing box and it's not crazy. But even when I said it, or the way that I think, it's like I don't think I'm crazy. It's just think I've transcended a lot of shit because I feel like I've been through a lot of shit. So I had to understand that my mind, even the stuff that I say sometimes, it's like I can't believe I said XYZ and I don't even know where it came from. But my daddy used to say this thing to me. He say, it'll all come out in the wash. Right.
Mm. Yeah.
And that was one of the most prevalent things he would always say to me. It'll all come out in the wash. It'll all come out in the wash. Just give it time. You could tell somebody something, it may not manifest 10 years from now, 20 years from now. But when you say it, sometimes you have to stand on that. And sometimes we say stuff and we don't know where it come from. And it'll all come out in the wash. And so even with that type of mindset, that's kind of how I am now. I be saying shit and it's just like I say it and it's like it's nothing because, like I said, I know time will tell. It'll reveal what's really on my mind and what's really, if I'm really, going in the right direction of the way that I'm thinking. Because my spiritual gift is discernment, right?
Okay.
Discernment. And I'm not talking about people put a lot of fluff on discernment. Everybody's supposed to have discernment and intuition. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where I can literally have discernment and predict future. I'm not talking about like be around somebody and catch a bad vibe and then people be like, oh, I got a bad vibe from this person, they gonna do X, Y, and Z. I think we all kind of had that because we all been around people and been in certain situations and scenarios to the point where we can catch a vibe. That's not discernment. Discernment to me is being in a environment and I'm like, I need to leave, something is going to happen. And I'm
Mm.
telling like people that I came with, I like, we need to leave. Something gonna pop off. Whoop the whoop. Nah, you tripping. Nah, you tripping. And actually something popping out. Not saying that people in this, I feel bad about this person, that person. Is like I get into like being in the club. It's been a bunch of times I've been to the club and I tell niggas like, hey, bro, we need to leave. Some shit gonna pop off. We need to go. I just got a feeling. And then we'll leave, and then somebody got hit with a stray bullet. Not saying that we was in no shit. It was just somebody got hit with a stray bullet. Now, what if that was us? But me just even predicting I needed to leave for some shit pop off and some shit pop off. And then my niggas like, damn, that shit crazy. Like, then it got to the point where in high school, I had to say, I got to stop riding with other individuals. And the reason I got to start riding with other individuals because when it's time for me to go, I needed to be able to just get in my shit. If you ain't leaving with me, your ass gonna get left because I know if I have a feeling or intuition that some shit gonna happen, then I have to leave. It's to the point now, how like on Final Destination where people could see something and then it like rewinds it and then they try to tell people before it happens.
Mm-hmm. That
Like
premonition.
the premonition, like all of this is part of discernment. And a lot of people say they have discernment, but they have no premonition. They don't even know where they're going. Like even when I started a podcast, right? Like starting this podcast, like I've been wanting to start a podcast, but it's like my feeling and my discernment, my intuition, everything was just off about it. And it's now to the point where I feel like I'm in my pocket. I feel like the feedback that I'm getting, I feel like the work that I'm getting done to it. I feel like my energy level towards it. I feel like my I guess my resilience and my consistency and just wanting to do this, full time. It's just I feel it. And like I said, it feels right. You know what I'm saying? Some people be like, the timing ain't right. That's a real thing, and it just feels right. And I think that's part of like my self love or whatever. Leave me alone. But that feel like part of my, self love is just listening to myself and hearing myself, because
Mhm.
I've been around people that have been in situations where they doubt themselves because they don't talk to themselves. Like people think, oh, you crazy if you talk to yourself. No, you better talk to yourself, because you don't know who that voice is that you're talking to, because you don't talk to yourself enough. You don't understand yourself enough, because a lot of times, being by yourself is just self revealing. You get a chance to look in that mirror and hear and seeing who you really are. Even the stuff that we self-conscious about. We should talk to ourselves and be like, why am I self-conscious about XYZ? Why do I feel this way? What makes me triggered if I'm in this situation, or is it the people I'm around? Do I feel like, you could be fat? Let's say I'm self-conscious about being fat. Am I around other people that are always working out that make me feel self-conscious? Do I feel a little jealous at times? Do I feel like I hate myself? Do I feel like I don't have enough drive? Do I feel like these people have a better break, or better genetics? Do I, it's a lot of stuff that you have to actually question yourself about when you have like self-conscious issues, or body image issues, when you have, sometimes mental health issues. Like, you have to question yourself a lot, and you should always question yourself. And part of our society now, which is very, very scary and dangerous, is two things. We have a I don't judge mentality, is
Ooh.
one, and we have a live and let live mentality, which is another.
Mm.
And those two mentalities only set us up as a society for failure, or it sets us up to our thinking as individuals as failure too. Because, for instance, my wife said some real shit the other day. She was like, I'm a person that typically does not care about a lot of social issues, right?
Okay.
And it's getting to the point where society is pushing me to make me to a person that's starting to care. And I was like, I understand what you mean. Because when it comes to women, typically it's like, I just want to be in my little bubble, do what I got to do. I got enough shit going on in my head. But it's getting to the point now, even in society, it's like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to fuck with XYZ over here, my little bubble, my tribe, and think some of those things that the society is pushing on you ain't gonna come to your doorstep at this point in time. Like when people say, "Oh, the president doesn't affect gas," okay, you could be in your little bubble, and then you get to the gas pump, and then you be upset, and then you hear people say, "Well, it was inevitable to happen because of XYZ," and then you start seeing, "Hey, the president just shut down three oil mining companies off the shore of Mexico and Alaska, and telling us that we can't mine for oil anymore." So like, you could be in your bubble, but that does affect you. And
Right.
so that's just a scenario that I'm using about this live and let live. I'm in my bubble, I'm doing my thing. Don't bother me. I ain't gonna bother you. Same thing with like mass shootings. I'm in my bubble. Don't bother me. Don't bother my kids until it comes to your doorstep, where you think your children are safe. You sending them to school, and then something happens. Your child may not come home. Your child may get injured. Your child may not even be harmed to even see what the commotion is. But that action or what's going on is inside of your child's vicinity, and that is scary. So it can't be a live and let live mentality, or I don't judge mentality, because at the same time it's like, I don't judge, but how can you be around people and say you don't judge? Like, you should want to be around somebody that you're around that has the same kind of mindset, and not necessarily y'all trying to do the same thing, but
Right.
y'all morals at least should line up.
Yeah.
That's all.
I've always found that to be kind of weird when people say like, "Who are you to judge?" And I get real indignant, like, "Motherfucker, Bradley Ashton, shit, like the hell you mean? Like I can't judge? Like, like I need to judge because I can fuck around and be aligned with somebody that probably ain't gonna mean me no good on down the line.
Right.
Like we're human beings. We naturally judge. We judge everything, and it seems like the main people who who would say, "Oh, you shouldn't judge this person," be the main motherfucker that pronounce shit about somebody. And I'm like, hold up, when the individual just told me that I shouldn't be judging nobody, but now
Right.
you trying to judge this person based off of how they look or how they carry themselves or what have you. But I've always thought that was just so weird for people to say, "Oh, don't judge," or they'll say some shit like, "Only God can judge me." No, I'm finna judge your ass, motherfucker. Like, if I get like you said, like if I get a vibe like, oh, nah, this person ain't what's up. Like, I'm definitely gonna put that in the back of my mind and steer away from you. But yeah, like people who say like not to judge are the same individuals who don't want to take accountability or responsibility for shit.
That's crazy how that I don't judge. We have a 1 minute people saying I don't judge, but then lately all you have been seeing is accountability. Like how do those work in our society together?
I don't. It's weird, man. It's like people be flaky with that shit, man. People want to like be hot and cold when it comes time to like live and let live, and then when it comes time to judge or when it comes time to be accountable or be responsible. I think it's just one of those times where we're trying to be too accepting of things instead of really just saying like, no, like I need to be a bit more weary of certain things or what's going on around us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of that comes with when the men get weaker, because the men typically are the ones who see down the line of how stuff is progressing and what could potentially happen. The quote unquote slippery slope is what
Mm-hmm.
men typically look for. So I know if you do XYZ today, that could potentially be XYZ in the future. And
Right.
so now it's either I nip this shit in the bud or I can ride it out. It may not go that way, but it would be safer to snip it in the bud instead of me going 10 years down the line and that shit being fucked up. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And
Yeah.
so what fucked us up, especially black people, what fucked us up is
Uh-oh.
being cool. We are every nigga want to be cool, bro. Like we all want to be cool. Nobody want to take accountability. Then everybody want to take accountability. Then everybody want to talk about mental health, but nobody want to actually address mental health. Like it's we are people of 1 foot in the door and 1 foot out the door.
I've had people tell me, they're like, Brad, you just so passionate, man. Like when you talk about something that's like real on your mind or real on your heart, man, you just so passionate. And I just said back, like, why shouldn't I be passionate? Like, why should I just try to just be just cool about everything? Because to be cool in my mind is to kind of slick, kind of be careless, you know? And it's like if you're careless, man, you will allow a lot of shit to fall through the cracks, man.
Yeah.
And I think we're at a point in time where we can't afford to let a lot of shit fall through the cracks, man. Because like you said, if I'm just so busy trying to be cool, man, there's something that I allow to fall through the cracks that can potentially harm me or affect my way of life on down the line because I didn't nip it in the bud when it first happened.
Hmm.
You find this a lot of times, like in relationships, where you try not to be, how can I say, you try to come off like too controlling
Hmm.
and you just like say, I'm gonna let this slide, man. I ain't gonna say nothing about it, and then it's 6 months, a year, 2 years on down the line in the relationship, and then you finally address something, and now it's, well, why you didn't bring it up the first time when I did it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, hold
Man,
on,
I,
bro, like,
I hate that shit. Oh, I hate that shit. That shit eat me up. Oh, I hate,
like,
bro, I hate that shit so bad when people are, why you didn't say it the first time? Well, motherfucker, I was trying to see was you adult enough to understand this shit was fucking with me, or I was trying to see was you really in tune enough with me to understand that the way that you move, I don't like it. But that's the thing about people and our human nature. When they say you give a nigga an inch,
they take him out.
they take a motherfucking mile. They will. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, bro, and it's kind of like shit, like kind of like your statement, man. I'll just try and see if you was gonna adjust it and stuff like that. But then it's kind of like I didn't even have to take responsibility. I'm like, well, B, you can't expect nobody to think or to know what you're thinking if you don't communicate it to them. So I've always told people, whether it's been romantic or a platonic friendship, like, hey, you can't be mad at me for something that you haven't addressed to me. Now, if you have a problem with me, I feel like I'm an individual that you could come to me and say, hey, B, you're doing something that I'm not really too fond of. Like, can you adjust that? And then depending on what it is, if I feel like it's something that is worth changing, then I'll do so. At least at least you have communicated with me your issue. So I can't sit here and say that, hey, you didn't tell me about this problem before. Because if you don't tell me about it, how would I know? And then let's just say you've addressed it to me and I still haven't changed it, then you can be upset about me not making those adjustments because you at least stated to me before.
So let's talk about that. Is not speaking up in a relationship, is that a form of not loving yourself sometimes?
Yes,
Why do you think so?
I think it is because like I just stated, man, we can sometimes try to be like, all right. So you have to sometimes like pick and choose your battles. That's
Mhm.
that's one thing. But if it's something that at your core is gonna bother you, you gotta speak up about it. Because not speaking up can have you feeling all types of ways. And I know
Mm.
there have been plenty of situations with exes where I've been like, I'd have been here before, but I don't want to come off like that dude, like I'm trying to control this chick or whatever,
Mhm.
and it keep happening, and I'm like, nah, don't say nothing, B, don't be that dude, don't be that dude. But then when I finally do address it, I don't address it in a calm, cool demeanor.
Mhm.
I've sometimes been that guy to kind of blow up,
Yeah.
and then it's kind of like, well, damn, like where this come from? And it's like, shit, it's something that's been festering.
Yeah.
It's been bubbling like damn like a volcano. So it's like when you talk about self-care and you talk about addressing things on the onset, man, sometimes it's just best just go ahead and get it out the way, man. Because if you don't address it right then, you're just potentially making the situation worse than what it really had to be if you just would have said, you know what, it's bothering me. I can't work. And this is why we don't say nothing neither. Because a lot of times I don't think it's so much of us. I think we worry about how the other person's gonna respond to it.
Mm.
You know, like I don't want to hurt this person's feelings or I don't want them feeling some type of way. And it's like I'm just gonna hold it to myself. But then it's like that shit eat you up inside, like, oh, I want to say something about this shit. God damn, I want to say something about it, but I don't wanna make that person feel away. So I'm just gonna keep it bottled up. But then it's like shit, it gets to a point where it's like, man, you kind of say, man, fuck their feelings, man. I gotta say this shit.
Right, because the thing is, mostly everybody I know, I've seen it, and like I said, it's just sermon. It's just sometimes it's a feeling, sometimes it's a vibe, but most of us deal with fear, and fear keeps us at a grips to where we don't want to say nothing. That's why being cool in our society, us black people, is a lot easier sometimes than being right or being in a position where you know who you are
Mm-hmm.
and loving yourself, because you don't want to be, let's say I'm in a group of people and I don't want to speak up because I don't want to go to XYZ, but because I want to be cool and be everybody accept me, I'm gonna go to this place where I don't feel comfortable or be around, or you know what I'm saying, or be around these group of people because I want to hang and I want to be cool and I want to be on the scene and I want to be known and I want to be, it happens, especially you would say you would think it's a younger thing, but then you still see older people still trying to hang and still trying to be cool and still don't know who they are, still want to be in the club and like I said, I ain't saying nothing wrong with the club, but it's like people make that a lifestyle. Like I might go to the club maybe 3 times out the year. It's 356 days in a year. I might go 3 times out a year. And, that's maybe for a birthday or just to get
Mm-hmm.
out, have drinks, listen to music. It ain't necessarily a lifestyle. And so when it comes to relationships, a lot of us are scared to speak up, not necessarily because of our feelings, not necessarily because of their feelings, is mostly because of fear. That's why a lot of people don't attempt to try to, I have these great ideas, but I never try them. I never try to pursue anything. I never try to get out of my own way to
Mm,
do things that I want to do. And one of the most profound things that is ever and has ever I've ever heard in a movie was that Coach Carter movie
mm.
when he was asking them, what are you afraid of or something like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I know that speech, man. I don't know the speech verbatim, but I know that part of the movie you talking about.
Yeah, that was deep because most of us um deal with a lot of fear, and we don't like to talk about that part. We don't like to talk about that part because it says our deepest fear is that we're not inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world.
Mm.
That's crazy. Hold on, it's not. Doesn't. I think this is the poem. I want to read the whole thing because it was pretty good.
Oh yeah, man.
It said our deepest fear is that we're not inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. As we let our light shine, we unnecessarily give others permission to do the same. As we liberate from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
That's real shit, man.
That's crazy. And like I said, that's what a lot of us deal with. That's why a lot of us don't even know how to love ourselves. It's fear. And people don't even know like what steps to take because even when it comes to like mental health, and I tell you, this is our biggest problem as black people. They're trying to make mental health cool. Like,
Yo, man, like I hate that shit, man. Like it's to the point now, bro, where I feel like people are using mental health like as a crutch. You know, like like I had got some backlash when I said what's my girl tennis star Naomi
I forgot her name. I need to talk.
man, she gonna withdraw from a match because like somebody in the crowd said some to her. And I was just like, cause I listened to what the person said, and I'm like, man, bro, I don't know, we just becoming just too soft as a people, bro. But you'd had guys like Arthur Ashe and I'm trying to think of another like famous, tennis player or just any tennis player. Serena Williams, bro, just having crazy shit said to him, worse than that, bro. And they ain't talking about withdrawing from a match due to mental health and all this other crap, man. And it's like we have made it so popular to where people feel like oh, they can just lean on that if they're feeling like inadequate in that moment or whatever. And no one is saying that you shouldn't deal with your mental health, but I think it gets to a point where we're starting to use that as an excuse to not be great.
Yeah, the thing is, like I said, we deal with a lot of fear. We are scary, and like I said, they made mental health be cool now, and everybody's like, "Oh, I need to take mental health days." And the things that people are taking mental health in fast, right? So part of the mental health now, people want to go and do yoga. People want to go to the gym now, and these things are good, therapeutic things. So don't get me wrong what I said, but I'm gonna let y'all know where I'm going. But yoga, hiking, going to the gym, spa days, like all of these things are, they're said to do for to clear your mental health. Taking mental health days and chilling by yourself. And the reason I say those things is because most people when you ask them, what are you doing for mental health? They say those things because it's become a fad. And when when it's like that, people don't even know, do I need to do those things for myself? Because those things I've heard people say they do, and I go try it, and I might feel good at the moment, but that's not what's healing me. That's not giving me what I need. And so people even took that mental health stuff, made it cool, and now it's an industry. And we got to understand, even with our society and how things go, a lot of people make money off of trends. And if it's $1 to be made and you starting to see stuff being trendy, you have to ask yourself, why is it trendy? How are people making money? Like, bro, like when I go to the gym now, it's way more people in the gym than there's ever been before. But and that, it's not a problem, that's not an issue. But my issue is when you go to the gym and you see people that just in the gym, they just in the gym.
Mm.
And you know what I mean when I say people that just they ain't working now. Some people are in the gym to look at the bitches. Some of the women in there just be half naked
Bro.
because it's a thing, it's a fad. It's bro. I was at the gym one day, no lie, bro. This girl, she had a big old ass, but she was flabby. And I just happened to go over there doing some tricep dips, but she was by the mirror. And I see this bitch take a picture, bro. No lie, my nigga. The angle that she took made it seem like she was so fucking like right, bro. Like she took like this bitch know her angles. Like they say, it's all in the fucking angles. So she
Right.
took the picture and her angles was on points because I looked at the picture and I'm like, damn. The crazy thing, bro, I didn't know I followed her on Facebook already. So I go look at the picture. I'm like, man, I wonder do people really be seeing her in person? Like, she's like this literally a catfish. And then one time, me and my wife was at a club, right?
Okay.
And it was a slim chick. She was slim as fuck, but she was a pretty ass girl, right?
Okay.
Man, my wife tapped me. She like, babe, look, she editing her photo, right? So I didn't even know they got like shit that you can edit. Bro, why this girl was drawing her ass big as hell on the picture?
Now she need to quit, man.
Right, bro. I'm like, are you fucking like we literally watching her edit this shit, bro? And she had no ass, bro, like none. And so I'm like, bitch, don't you know people like know you? Or but maybe, and then I'm like, well, maybe in her mind, she not worried about the people that know her. It's for the people that don't know her that she can maybe a nigga can cash help her some money to try to get close to her, or she could throw, like, I need this XYZ who gonna do whoop the whoop for me because we know like you ain't even got to really prostitute nowadays for real. Just show a nice picture. People, a lot the world has access to you, and now people can send you some money. But that's another form of like, why are you not confident in how you
How
actually
you look,
look?
right?
Like that's scary. Like people are not confident in how they actually look, and it's a scary time. Like most, have you ever like did research on like school shooters and stuff, like people that do mass shootings? Okay, so most of the people, this is how you know people are meant to be alone. But most of your school shooters are loners. They will pick
Oh, okay.
on,
Okay. Yeah, I
they
have
were
heard that before.
they were bullied.
Yep.
Nobody really fuck with them like that. That
Yep.
they were always quote unquote different. You know, and like I said, a lot of them necessarily didn't have like a bad upbringing or nothing like that. It was just they were just different. They were, the outcast of society or their school or the things that they were interested in. The masses of people weren't interested in. So it made them being by themselves made them click like fuck it, I'm just gonna do a lot of damage and harm. And the thing is with mass shooting, people think I'm doing a mass shooting because I want to cause harm to a lot of people. But a lot of people do mass shootings because I want the world to know who I am before I die.
Mm.
Most people don't know that. Most people, that's why when you have like sometimes mass shootings, they have mass shooting copycats. And now you have some news outlets saying, I will not repeat the name of this said shooter because that's what their issue was. They want the world and society to know who they were because they were loners. Nobody knew their name. Nobody gave a fuck about them. So I go, and that's why you see people that do this shit. They go to kids or elderly. They want to go to most vulnerable people. They're gonna get the most people to talk about them. People are gonna feel away, and people are gonna have so much hate and vitriol, but they're gonna constantly bring up said person's name about the mass shooting. It's not about, hey, I'm crazy or whatever with the whoop. It's because I need to be known. I want people to know who I am before I go.
Mm.
That
I
shit is wild.
I could definitely think that, man. Wow. I never thought about it like that. That they
Yeah,
want that they
that
want people to know like who they was. You know what I'm saying? Because I always thought it was just kind of like one of those things where they wanted attention, but like in the worst way.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because for some reason when I always hear about mass shooting, I always think about them two white boys out there in Boulder
Yeah.
with Columbine.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause they kind of they fit the exact description. You know, outcasts, loners. I want to say both of them. If don't quote me on it, but I want to say both of them came from a single parent household.
I think so.
You know, and just was kind of like, yeah, bro. I forget what was like the turning point that just made them just go dark like that. But yeah, I could definitely see that, man. I could definitely see, them wanting their names to live in infamy in a way where, like you said, yeah, they understand that people gonna hate them, but at the same time, it's like their names, unfortunately, when that date comes up or the anniversary comes up, like they're gonna always be remembered as the shooters of such and such mass shooting.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm finna say, hold on. I was trying to find a so this is one of my favorite movies is Troy, right?
Okay.
And one of the parts is, and this is how people are, is when Achilles was going to fight the guy, and it was like the messenger boy. He was so the messenger boy was like, "Are those stories about you true? They say your mother is an immortal goddess. They say you can't be killed." Achilles, I wouldn't be bothered with the shield, then would I? The messenger boy, the Thessalonians you're fighting, he's the biggest man I've ever seen. I wouldn't want to fight him. Achilles, that's why no one will remember your name.
Mm.
Like, like that's deep. Like that's what people be looking for. People, especially a lot of men, they want to be remembered in time. They want to
Yeah,
build
man.
massive statues and obelisks and buildings and being the greatest architecture or paintings, and it could be even a podcast. Like this stuff could be going throughout the ages for the next hundreds of years where people listen to who you are. And like I say, like as a man, we are, especially men, we definitely want to be a legacy. Women don't care so much about that. They have great women who have built the legacy because of the situations or things they have created. But as men, we want to do that more often than not. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
always want to be, like I said, being cool and wanting to get the most money, want to be the flyest nigga, want to get the baddest bitch. And all those stuff is just external stuff that a lot of times is comforting. It's a band-aid for a lot of shit that we dealing with. Um, the thing is, question, is future toxic?
You know what? I've asked myself that recently, like, is he really toxic? Or is he just kind of like one of those men that he tried to operate in one lane before and realized that that wasn't working for him? So he kind of just switched up his approach. And now it's like, I see this is working for me now. So let me just stay in this lane.
Why do women still deal with future if he has the toxic label?
I what I think it is, man. I think women are turned on by that because they don't. I think what turns on women to guys like a Future is the fact that he comes off as an uncontrollable guy.
Hmm.
Like he kind of like knows himself in a way, right? And women women had this mindset of like, ooh, like he's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So if I could get him to like change his ways, then that must mean that I'm a special kind of girl, but not really understanding that if you were to change him or to transform, him like from the inside out or make him do like a 180, you're not gonna be attracted to him no more
Right.
because he's not the person that you was attracted to when you first met him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think that he kind of maintains this persona, or this may just be who he is as an individual.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's just the fact of like he's self assured of who he is, and he's not willing to conform for anybody else, and not really care whether people think that he is toxic or not. Because again, kind of like what we said about legacy and stuff like that, like it keeps his name in people's mouths.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it reveals a certain level of status. Like, damn, like, yeah, people say this man toxic, but shit, people still fuck with him, people still want to work with him, women still want to be with him. Hell, to the point where some even will willingly have his kids.
Yeah.
So
Multiple kids.
look, what, 9 and counting, huh?
Is that many?
Yeah, man. Shit, I want to say recently, don't quote me on it, but I want to say recently they was talking about he had got two pogs.
What?
Yeah, two paws pregnant. Don't quote me on it. But I was like, damn, Nevadius, you out here shooting it
God
up, man.
damn, that nigga did not give a fuck. Shit. Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, it's scary. It's already scary to have kids, and you just having different baby mamas and households, and you can't be there. Like, that shit
Bruh.
scary, bro.
You know how much like to raise a child now in America, like the average is now?
Now, what is it?
Man, so I think in 2020 the EPI calculator estimated that it would cost $230,000 over the span of like 18 years to raise a kid.
Hold on.
So now, because of inflation, like since like 2 years ago, like a percent or whatever, it's now estimated that to raise a kid in America now is $272,000. I'm missing some digits here and there, but that's how much it is right now. And then it's just gonna probably go up as the years go. So think about that times 9, or in this situation, 11 or 12. And that's just an average parent. Just imagine you trying to give your child the best of the best.
Hold on, I'm finna share my screen. I just researched it. I just Googled it.
Yeah,
Now I
bro.
gotta see this shit.
It is expensive. That's why I be thinking like cats like him, Nick Cannon, NBA YoungBoy, Lil Durk. I'm like, yo, like y'all boys, y'all must got that loan money, bro. Cause kids are not cheap.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, it says, hold on, let me do this. All right, I had to pull it over here. I'm trying to get fired with the screen yours. Okay. It say in the US, the average cost of raising a child through the age of 17 is $233,610. This
Mm.
figure is based on data compiled in the most recent expenditures of children by families reported, completed by the United States Department of Agriculture. Wow.
Now do 22, cause inflation just spiked that thing up.
America in 2000. Oh shit. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the average cost of raising a child to the age of 18 was $233,610 as of 2015. One with an annual adjustment of inflation of 2.2% each year, fractured in the lifetime cost of raising a child born in 2022 could be estimated at $272,049. God damn. Shit. I don't I can't So I got 2 kids, right?
Right.
I can't see that figure, bro. I can't. And I'm saying now, I'm still fresh in it, and we could readjust this. We could have this rehash this conversation. I guess like 3 years from now, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, I can probably see the 272, but I'm trying to. Yeah, it might be about a 272. And the reason I say that, if let's say I pay $4,000 a year. Let's just do
Mm-hmm.
some math right now to age of 5. That's what, 20 racks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I got 2 children, so that's okay. We just do one. We're gonna do one. So that's $20,000 right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess college would be added in. It got to be college, because most of that got to be college, because they go to a public school that's free, right?
Well, what they said they factor in. They said that
Let's go to it.
they
Let's
said
go.
the two main factors in that figure was housing and food.
Okay, let's go to it. Let's read it. This is interesting. I'm gonna clip this out. People need to see this. Okay. Key takeaways. Let's look at the key takeaways. Key takeaways: middle income parents will spend an average of 200, including the cost of higher education. Yeah, I kind of figured that it had to be college. The largest expense associated with raising a child is housing, followed by food. The cost of childcare varies widely and depends on where you live. The good news is each additional child costs less. That's why I said that costs less, thanks to economics, economies of scale. And the reason, that's why I was like, I don't know if it costs 272, because I was blessed to have 2 sons, right? And
Right.
since I got 2 sons, we spent a lot for my baby boy. Well, I'm gonna be honest, just being honest. So we both come from great families, me and my wife. So we really didn't start spending money on my son until he started going to daycare. But if we spent all of that money, let's say we bought, whatever, a lot of that stuff went straight to my baby boy. And so we didn't buy, we weren't buying like clothing, we weren't buying like shoes, because we saved all of that stuff and put it in bins, because we know we're not done having kids. What if we have another boy? We're just gonna just give him the hand-me-downs, basically, and he can
Right.
just wear that stuff, and that way we don't have to worry about rebuying all of that. It's better just to store it. And so that was a blessing. But now my wife want to have a girl, so that would change a lot of that. You know what I'm saying?
Now I did hear kind of like what you said with a hand me down. Like a parent hack I came across on Instagram was buying like gender neutral clothing.
Uh-huh.
So that if that was the case, you will still have clothes, for if you do have a daughter, that it still wouldn't break the bank for y'all, because fam, like my line brother, my tail, he got twin girls,
Okay.
you know, and I already know, like, just them alone can be expensive, girls, maintenance and stuff like that for they just small girl, they just 2 years old. So I can only imagine as they get older, how more expensive that could possibly be.
See, but this is weird though, with the added cost that they got, because it says according to consumer expenditures, and I'm about to look this up, expenditure data for 2020, the typical household spends a mean amount of $21,409.19 on housing per year. That's weird, because your child gonna live with you anyway. Like, you're not paying for them to go stay somewhere else. Like,
I
I
think they
don't.
just talk about just having like a big enough space, for yourself, your spouse, and depending on how
Okay.
many kids you got.
Well, I guess that probably would go up, because an extra body in the house would mean maybe extra utilities,
Mm-hmm.
water, bathing, water, because I'm thinking housing. Then it said housing, then food. So yeah, food's not included in the housing. So yeah, I would think lights, electric, water, maybe if you got gas, those expenditures will go. But I can't see it being $21,000 a raise. These numbers offer a bright idea of how much families pay for housing, but it's important to keep in mind that housing costs can vary based on a number of factors, including geographic areas, type of dwelling, i.e., single family home, townhome, etc., whether the family rents or owns home, size of home as it corresponds to family size, i.e., number of bedrooms required based on the number of children and adults, age of home. Economic conditions can also influence the cost of housing for families. When housing prices rise, that can make it more expensive for families to purchase a home. Likewise, rising inflation can push up rental prices along with increased prices for other consumer goods.
Mm-hmm.
Food costs. After housing, food tends to be a major cost for parents who are raising one or more growing children. In terms of what a typical family might spend on food, the amount can vary based on the number of children in the house, household income, geographic region, and preferred diet. So I guess you're just going over the same shit again now.
Right.
It's going on the same shit. Let me bookmark this.
Yeah, and another one I know you could check out is the I think it's the Economy Policy Institute calculator, where
Mhm.
like you can factor in how many adults and how many children are living in the household depending on your area, and it'll give you like an estimate of how much it will cost like a year.
Uh-huh.
Like I did Birmingham, so I did like 2 adults, and because I said I want ultimately 3 kids. It
Yeah.
said that if you was to raise 3 children and have a spouse or have a have like a girlfriend, partner, whatever, in Birmingham, I think it said that it would take annually, I think $103 or $108,000 annually.
So that's how much you would need to make, or that's how much expenditures will be a year.
I think expenditures and all. I think that's
Okay,
how
so it'd
much
be
it.
100. So you said 108,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and then I did Tampa, Florida, because I think with it actually costs less. Ironically, like I
You
think it
saying
said,
Tampa?
yeah, like I want to say
Okay.
it was like 98, like around
Okay.
like 98,000. But I think a big factor in that is because they don't have state income tax.
Oh, they don't.
Like
Okay.
Florida, I think Florida, Texas, Nevada, one of them Dakotas, and then like another state like up in the north, like Atlantic East. They don't have like state income tax or state tax to where you won't have to like worry about that. But then they have like other things that kind of like balance that out too. Kind of like
Okay.
in Florida, they have like them tallies and shit. And same as Texas.
Oh, okay. Cool. 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 We need to do fun facts with Brad one day. Where I could just research the shit you know. So,
Bro, it's
so
funny. It's
after
funny to say that shit because like back in high school, bro, like you remember Ash Jeeves.
and
You remember that?
oh,
You remember that
Ash,
search
yeah,
engine
yeah, yeah.
Ash?
Like it was like the before Google type shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
I
man,
understand.
motherfuckers be copying that shit, man. Like, boy, your ass be knowing random shit, bro. I be like, I just be researching, cuz.
Yeah, that shit crazy. So yeah, I didn't know it was that much. But like I said, like I said, higher learning got to be where this expense come from. Um, higher learning, I can maybe see
I mean, maybe if you got
child
like a
care.
college fund or something, you know what I'm saying? But shit, most people hell, they don't have you know, a lot of folks' parents don't have like money just set aside for college. That's why you got so many people taking out student loans.
So reading that, you still want to have your lady and 3 kids.
I mean, yeah, bro. I'm already in my mind saying to myself, "Hey, cuz, how we gonna be getting this money up, bro?"
Dang. So you plan on being established before the kids, or do you think you're gonna have the kids and work to being established?
I would want to. I already had that established before I had my kid. That's why I'm already putting in my mind like I'm probably gonna be a old daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like motherfucking late 30s, probably early 40s.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's smart.
Yeah,
I
man.
did.
Because I
I
mean,
think
shit, bro. You gotta think, man. Like for the average American, man, we already got student loan debt. And
Yeah.
there ain't no telling, if you may got credit card debt or whatever, and then you talking about adding on a child, man, that's financial suicide.
Yeah, but I'ma say this, I'm blessed. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm a blessed individual because I have no student loan debt.
Ooh,
I have none. I have none. Everybody I know have student loan debt. Everybody, well, I ain't gonna say everybody, but majority of people I know
majority, yeah.
student loan debt, and that's one of the biggest things. I did go to school for a little while. I did have a little bit of student loan debt, but I knew school was not the path for me, so I did not go finish school or dropped out or whatever, and paid off my student loans. And so I don't have any. I don't have any student loans. And actually, if I wasn't paying for a wedding this year, I would probably be debt free this year.
Mm.
Like I wouldn't have no debt. Period.
That'd be another one too, bro. That'd be another one too, fam. Like planning like for like a wedding ceremony, bro.
Yeah.
Like I think I forget what website I looked on it, but the average wedding in America, I think,
Hold
costs around like $35,000, bro. And
on.
then half the time,
I'm looking up.
because of the divorce rate, bro, people don't. It's funny, bro. You not saying you and your lady, but you'll have some couples, man, still paying off on a wedding, and they not even married to that person no more.
So, oh, they got it by state. The average cost of a wedding by state. Hey, StreamYards look pretty cool when I'm doing screen share.
Yeah, man.
Can you see it pretty good over there?
Yeah. I see Alabama per guest
Okay,
two
that's
hundred
what's up.
2,800. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, per state, Alabama is $220 per guest. 15,000. Alaska. So Alabama, I guess the cheapest. Oh, no, I said it. It ain't over because Arkansas cheaper than that. Arkansas. What is a reasonable budget for a wedding? Shit. According to the
You talking
knot,
about 30,000.
according to the knot 2019 real wedding studies, the average wedding costs 33,900, including the engagement rings. Whoa. 25. Hold on.
Yeah, I think they take into consideration like the time of year, because I've heard a lot the time of year, like summer, like spring and summer weddings always are the most expensive, because that's when everybody want to have their wedding. That's why you're seeing a bigger trend of people having their weddings in the fall and especially the winter. And then the day in which you have your wedding on, because I think the cheapest day to have a ceremony is like Sunday.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, definitely Sunday because everybody want to do Friday night or Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or probably Sunday or in the middle of the week. In
Yep.
general, filing and completing a divorce in Alabama would cost you around $200 to $350. The average cost of filing for a divorce in Alabama is usually around $215 to $230. If you have a contested divorce case in Huntsville, Alabama, the cost would be much steeper. Ooh,
Mm.
uh, yeah, I have so I've been married before, and I had seen where you could do your they had like an ad in the newspaper, right? My mama
Okay.
had found it for me, and the shit was like $99, bro.
Mm.
Easy as shit. Well, I could have been divorced quicker, but the bitch she kept contesting the fucking damn divorce, knowing I wasn't coming back. I don't know why she was playing like that. Like all you had to do was sign the paper. I signed it, then I sent it to her. I was like, hey, look, I'm sending you divorce papers. Go ahead and sign this shit, right? And
Right.
so she was like, okay, I'm gonna sign it. And then so it was like a month later, I just hit her up. I was like, hey, did you sign the papers? And she's like, yeah, I signed it. Yeah, I signed it. And then I got a letter in the mail. It was like, we had a court hearing. And I called her. I was like, bitch, why didn't you fucking didn't sign the damn paper like that? And she was like, man, I just didn't know we were really done and whatnot. And I just want to give you time to think about it until the court hearing. Bruh, tell me why these motherfuckers push the court hearing date off for a year and a half, bro.
Oh no.
Yes, bro. Like it was like the summertime. I filled out the paper. Then when I got the letter in the mail, like 2 months later from her not signing it, it was like November of the next year, bro. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? They was, and basically the excuse was, because I called, the excuse was they was really backed up, and like divorces is not really like on a it's not really like on the of importance. You know what I'm saying?
It's not priority.
Yeah, it was a priority. So they didn't give a fuck about people trying to divorce folks and stuff like that.
Man, but see, when I heard, because I did the same thing, like seeing how much it would cost to file for divorce. That's why I was just thinking to myself, like, damn, like, why does it? Then you hear like people talk about, man, I lost thousands of dollars in my divorce, and I be thinking to myself, does a lot of that come from lawyer fees? Does that come from assets that may have been bought during the marriage? Like what make it shoot up so high like that?
Man, I think when you have a divorce and it's expensive, I think a lot of this shit be the women, because they be trying to negotiate a lot of the shit, because they don't want to just go, because divorce can be quick, but when it gets to like the minutia and the meticulous shit, like I bought that coffee pot. I need that coffee pot. And people were like, oh no, people want to argue over a fucking coffee pot. Bitch, yes, the fuck they would. They would argue over coffee pot, the fucking couches, dining sets, the knife set, the kitchenette. Like some people are that fucking petty with divorce. And so if you have to go down and itemize every little thing in time and effort until y'all can come to agreement, and y'all lawyers say that and say that, y'all came to agreement, it could get very, very pricey.
Mm.
Very, very pricey. And I'm good. It's crazy that we got on divorce, because this is part of like our self-love talk, our children and self-love. It kind of segue in, and these are great conversations that I like to have, actually.
You know what? Like, I know people. I know divorce is still kind of like a taboo thing, but I think for some individuals, man, like it is good to understand that it may be best for yourself to leave a situation that as an individual you may have outgrown. And I know a lot of people will stay in marriages, like you said, because of kids, especially they're still young. That's why you're seeing a rise in great divorces.
Yeah.
People who are like 50 and older, or they also call it empty nester divorce, where they have gotten all their kids out of the house, and they have a certain age to where they can take care of themselves, and they've come to a conclusion like, all right, we got our kids out the house, and we kind of understand that we're not in that same space we used to be as a relationship, so now we're going to go ahead and just go our separate ways, and we understand, and we hopefully our kids will understand why we are taking the route that we're taking, instead of doing it while they're still in the house, or while they're still young, and that could potentially damage them growing up, because you hear about kids being affected by their parents splitting up, but you'll hear people saying, yeah, I stayed because of kids, or I stayed because of societal pressures and things like that, but and on the inside that shit could be in your ass up, like, damn, you really just playing the funk with this person just to keep face, and you
Yeah.
miserable as hell.
Yeah, that's another thing is I don't understand. See, sometimes I could say I don't understand it personally, but then at the same time, I can kind of rationalize why a person would kind of stay in like a fucked up situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I say, the grass ain't always greener on the other side, even though people are gotten clever and said the grass is always green where you water it. But if that was the case, I think a
Why
lot
you
of people
part of your
are.
grass you ain't now?
Exactly. Exactly. And when it comes to relationships, it takes two people, of course. But and that's why I say I can understand why people are rationalize staying with someone, because somebody might be like, I know what I got, but I don't know what I'm getting. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the kind of the mind state that a lot of people have. I know what I got. I don't know what I'm getting. I don't know. Yeah, this nigga might cheat on me, but the next nigga might cheat and beat my ass. But And we're pessimistic as a society already. So you could think that way,
Yeah.
or you could think I could leave and get somebody really great, really loves me, really treats me well. But typically, most people like I could leave and get something worse, and we rationalize stuff kind of like I've been enduring this long. I've gotten to the point where it's not as uncomfortable or unbearable. So it's like I could potentially stay in this the rest of my life. You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And that's scary sometimes.
And you know what? I sat back and thought about that jump, man. Like when you hear, because we already know, like if you done your research on divorce, that you know that majority of the time women are the ones who initiate divorce, right? And I always wondered this to myself, like women who were like wives and got kids, and especially those who are older when they file for these divorces, I really ask myself, like, are they really thinking this thing through when they ask for divorce? Like, do they really think like, okay, you're a woman, you've been married for let's just say 30 years, and now you're in your 50s or shit, let's not even say 60s, and you're asking for a divorce from your husband. Like, do you really think that there's a big dating pool out there for a woman, in your age group? Do you really think that they're just men who are just pining to be with a woman that is in her 50s, 60s? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you really thinking this with a logic mind, or are you just, moving off your emotions? Like, I just don't feel this no more, so I'm just gonna leave this relationship just to end up being lonely, or just being a slow Tuesday night.
Man, what you just said goes back to what I was saying earlier, bro. Us as people, we just doing a lot of shit that is has been told to us that's cool nowadays. And what I mean by that is, girl, love yourself, leave him. It's not a lot of that shit that what they was telling that they tell women is not even logical, because women are bullying. We're in a society now where women are bullying men into liking the shit that we don't like being overweight. Men fall in love with their eyes, right?
Fact.
And women be like, "Oh, I still get niggas." And like one of the porn stars said that went viral. She's like, "We too old as women. We too old to keep talking about, oh, but I still get niggas. You have a coochie. Niggas love coochie. Like, come home, bro. And let's be real, bigger women are on the low or the if I'm in a drought, I'm gonna try to shoot at a big bitch before I shoot at a slender bitch. No matter
Fact.
if the big bitch is cuter, I just know typically, and this is from my dating experience, typically a bigger woman has lower self-esteem and it's going to be a little bit
Fact.
easier, and she's going to feel like, oh, nobody wants me. And as soon as I give her a little attention and a little, look her way and tell her she beautiful and rub on a certain type of way, and it's go time. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's bad to say it like that, but it's true. And I'm not saying for
I mean,
all.
bro, it is, but no, say it is what it is, bro. But see, but you remember we had that post about a month or so ago, and then like the girls who fit that description was like, oh my god, I'm just seething right now because this is
Oh
all
yeah,
this
yeah.
just all cap. And I'm like, bro, like this ain't cap, bro. Like like men, like we're men, so we're able to be a bit more objective about a lot of these things, but yet, because women tend to conflate their self personal worth and what the market value really is for them, they tend to try to match up as one and the same. And it's like, baby girl, like it's not like you said, bro. You have three holes,
Yeah.
okay? Like we're just looking at it as an orifice that we can feel in that moment. We're not necessarily looking at you as an individual that we want to really like have a relationship with. And because women tend to put so much value into their box, they think that, oh, he must want me because he's having sex with me, or he's bringing up the subject of sex. No, baby, like we're just in a drought right now, and they can't seem to grasp that, or they don't want to admit that to themselves, that that's the reason why we're messing with them.
Yeah. And that's crazy that we say this, and we got to be politically correct about stuff, and then they're trying to push all of this stuff on us, putting a big woman on the Sports Illustrated
Bruh,
magazine, counseling men because they
bruh,
speak about it and shit. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on? Like, men are weak, we can't even say anything. Women have all the power in the world right now to say and to
bruh.
do what the fuck they want.
I promise you, man. And it's just like I'm like, come on, bro. Like, what make y'all think that we really want that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if cause here's the thing, like people make it seem as though like big girls are not getting attention. Fam, you can go to any like plus size model who is well known, and she got at least like 75K thousand followers on Instagram. Like she's not at a shortage of attention. Like you got, like you said, man, you got cats that in a drought, or you got some dudes who fetishize over plus size women. So it's not the fact that they can't get anybody to drop some D up in them. What
Yeah.
it is a lot of it is they can't find guys who they can retain for relationships of value or who is worth a damn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why anytime you'll see a plus size woman with a guy, you got to think to yourself, okay, does this man have low self esteem by himself, or is he broke, or does he have a fetish for plus size women as to why he's with her?
Oh shit. I'm trying to look at the comments.
Because I can't even see it. Oh, let me see. Let me go to
Oh,
chat.
yeah, I was looking at one of them. They said I could be astroturf. I don't know what that even means. But yeah, like I said, I was going back. I looked up. It say women, in fact, nearly 70% of divorces are initiated by women. This is according to a 2015 research study conducted by the American Sociological Association (ASA), which suggests two-thirds of all divorces are initiated by women. Among college-educated women, this number jumps up to 90%.
Oh,
Shit.
and let me tell you this one too. And I know, and I know the sister gonna be mad at me because you know they be like, "Well, you just hate black." No, I don't hate black. Well, I love women in general, but I just report the facts. You know, I'm a former journalism major. According to research done by Bowling Green State University, you know, black women are the least likely to get married in their lifetime at a, I think, 25-26% rate, right? They are 3 times as likely to initiate divorce than any group of women in America.
Say what now? Boulder. I'm gonna look it up.
Black women, black women are 3 times as likely. Bowling Green,
Oh, Bowling Green.
yeah, Bowling Green State University. They had like a study on like marriage and divorce, and they said that black women were
You're right.
3 times as likely to initiate divorce than any other group of women in America, but are you know least likely to get married.
Bowling Green dating match.com. Hold on, hold on.
Mm-mm. Nah, cause it was like in like kind of like a the last time I looked, it was like in like a orange. Cause I think that school colors are like orange and brown. Um, but yeah, when I saw that shit, man, I was like, damn, for
I'm
real?
gonna find it. 'Cause I don't people, people will be like, oh, people are you just on your podcast just like, no, nigga, we're gonna look this shit up. I don't want nobody that would be like, oh, you don't know.
I mean, but see, here's the thing, though, Sid, and this is something that I've even understood about, trying to present facts to especially women, bro. You can show a woman statistics in the plain black and white, bro, and they'll still try to like push the goalposts back with the information that you have in front of them, bro. Do Bowling Green State University, because you just got Bowling Green.
Okay, hold on. Bowling Green.
Do Bowling Green State University and do like probably like divorce or whatever, divorce research.
The black woman divorce statistics. Said divorce.
Or just do divorce. Just take out black women and do like divorce. I don't know if it'll bring it up like that.
Ooh, I guess that was it right there.
Okay, yeah. Let's see.
Okay, I guess it was you said orange, right?
Uh-huh.
Charting marriage profile. Let's see what it say. Mm, age, divorce rate in U.S. I guess I need to click this one.
Cause it'll probably be on like race or something like that.
Geographic. I thought I seen demographics somewhere.
Yeah. Did it? I thought it did. Demographic.
Marriage to divorce U.S. I might have to go back over this by myself. This is a good little thing. My graphics.
Yeah, man. I was like, damn, 3 times is likely, bro. But I like it kind of makes sense though.
You said black women are 3 times more likely to what now?
It said that black women get married at a 25% or 25 or 26% rate, depending on your source, but are 3 times as likely to initiate divorce
Mm.
than the national rate. And I was like, damn. But then when I thought about it, I was like, it kind of makes sense, just depending on, well, not depending on, but just knowing how we've been conditioned,
Mm-hmm.
how we condition women, especially black women, to try to be, strong and independent and be self sufficient and all that. And them thinking like, well, I'll probably be better just being in a relationship by myself versus trying to actually work out a relationship. And then how women be coming out of all them excuses about, well, back in the day, grandmama had to depend on granddaddy for money and stuff. So now
I wanted to visit with y'all here. Black women were the only group that had a higher divorce rate than marriage rate, with
mm,
nearly 31 divorces per thousand married women aged 15 and older, and only 17.3% marriages per thousand unmarried women.
that could be something close to it.
Marriage rates.
Boom, right there.
It's a race. All racial ethnic groups had more marriages than divorce. Other race women, including the Asian, American Indian, Alaska Native, and multiracial women, had the highest marriage to divorce rate, 3, meaning that the women married in 2018 for every one woman who divorced. The second highest ratio was found among Hispanic women, 2.5, followed by white women, 2.1, and black women, 1.6. Black women were the only group that had a higher divorce rate than marriage rate, with nearly 31 divorces per thousand women aged 15 or older, and only 17.3 marriages per thousand unmarried women. That shit is crazy. Bro, that shit is crazy as fuck.
Yeah,
There
man.
are
Yeah.
substantial educational differences in marriages and divorce behaviors, with the largest differences between those with a college degree and more relative to those with only some college or less. Women with a bachelor's degree had the highest marriage to divorce rate at almost 3 marriages per every one divorce. Damn. This is
Mm.
similar for women with master's degree or higher, 2.6. Women with less than a high school diploma, 1.9. A high school degree or GED, 1.8. And some college education, 1.9. Had comparable marriage to divorce ratios at about 2 marriages per every one divorce.
Mm.
Those with less than a high school degree were the only education category to have a higher divorce rate than marriage rate.
Wow.
Those with less than a high school degree were the only education category to have a higher divorce rate than marriage rates. Women's marriage to divorce ratio and marriage and divorce ratio by educational attainments. 2018. Ooh, damn, that shit crazy. At
Mm.
14.1 and 12.5 shit. Damn, that shit wild, bro.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm
So
telling
pretty much, if you marry a black woman, she gonna more than likely initiate for divorce.
you. I mean, that's how it look like, man. That's how it look like. I remember getting into I remember getting into an argument with a chick who I eventually blocked because she was trying to come at me talking about you just sound hurt. You just sound like who, like, you know how women be like, who hurts you? And I'm like, fam, like, I don't have to be hurt to share my experiences, but yet if it was you coming over here talking about your unflattering experiences with black men, it's you speaking your truth. Like, there's no your truth. It's just the truth.
The truth.
You know. But then when I drop these facts, and then folks be like, "Well, where you find these facts?" And I'm like, "Ma'am, you can Google."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But folks are just lazy. And then, like I said earlier, man, like, you could present, bro. I be telling folks, man, blackdemographics.com, bro, will
Yeah.
will tell you so much shit that you need to know about what's going on with the black community. But like, if
Let
you
me say
don't
this
point, if you
too.
don't point it, if you don't go to the exact thing, it's just like, oh wait, it doesn't say it on here. I'm like, fam, did you even look?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you could point it right to their face, and it's like, but still, we a whole bunch of but still people, but still, you don't know, they could be, folks, they try to manipulate statistics to work in their favor and all this other shit. I'm like, you just don't want to accept the truth, bro. It's okay.
Damn. It say, let's talk about suicide. On average, adjusted for age, the annual U.S. suicide rate increased 30%. Fuck, that is a lot. Between 2000 and 2020, from 10.4 to 13.5 suicides per 100,000 people in
Mm-hmm.
2018. 14.2 people per 100,000 died by suicide, the highest rate recorded in more than 30
And you
years.
know who the majority of suicides are in this country, right?
Mm.
Men. I think
Well, I
men.
knew that, man. Yeah, yeah, I didn't know. I
I
thought you was
think I
talking about
think I want to say shit like, don't quote me on it, but I want to say like 73%, bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I could believe that. Suicide rate, world population. See, like right here, you got like even looking right here, total suicide rate 72.4, males 116, females 30, males 63, females 17, males 55, females 4.
Mm. So shit like this is a global thing with men.
Yeah, because a nigga be like, they see where their life going and be like, fuck it, I ain't finna get no better. Let me
Going off myself, yeah.
go on take, yeah. More than 700,000 people die to suicide every year. For every suicide, there are many more people who attempt suicide. A prior suicide attempt is the single most important risk factor for suicide in general population. Suicide is the fourth leading cause of death among 15 to 19-year-olds. That shit wild, bro. They young as hell.
Bro, like, I don't know if I can say this on L, but like, I remember hearing about a lot of well, I ain't gonna say a lot, like it was just an epidemic, but when I was going to Stillman, I just had some of my homies at UA tell me like, yeah, bro, like we had somebody off themselves, bro, or hung themselves earlier in one of the dorms that on campus, and I'm like, damn, for real? And I'm like, why they ain't say nothing about it? I guess, family, didn't want, that publicity and stuff like that, whatever. But yeah, man, it's quite common, bro. Um, it's quite common, man. Like college campuses and stuff, man, or just people in high school, uh, and I think a lot of that, you may find in your research, but a lot of it got to do with social media, bro.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it got to do with social media and like self comparison, lives. thinking that your life is trash compared to someone else's curated version of their lives online. Um,
So it says 77% of global suicides occur in low and middle income countries. Ingestion of pesticides, hanging, and firearms are one of the most common methods of suicide globally.
mm,
Every year, 703 people take their own lives, and there are many more people who attempt suicide. Every suicide is a tragedy that affects families, communities, and entire countries and has long lasting effects on the people left behind. Suicide occurs throughout the lifespan and was the fourth leading cause of death among 15 to 29-year-olds globally in 2019. Suicide does not just occur in high income countries, but is a global phenomenon in all regions of the world. In fact, over 77% of global suicides occur in lower and middle income countries in 2019. Suicide is a serious public health problem. However, suicide are preventable with timely, evidence-based, and often low-cost interventions for natural national responses to be effective. A comprehensive, multi-sexual, sectoral suicide prevention strategy is needed. Damn, that shit wild, bro.
yeah, man.
I wonder how many people.
I ain't know it was a. I ain't know it was a global issue like that. But yeah, I can see that though.
Considered mentally ill. I guess that's the right thing I need to type in. Mental illnesses are common in the United States. Nearly 1 in 5 U.S. adults live with a mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
52.9 million in 2020. God damn. Bro, that's over half our population.
Nah, and all I think it's like around like that's kind of a little over like probably like a quarter of the nation. Because I
Well, yeah,
think
you're right. Because it said adults. Adults live with 52.9. Oh, no. I'm looking at a percentage. I'm thinking that's a percentage. That's a 52.9. My bad.
yeah, that's like I mean that's still a lot of people though. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's a lot of fucking a lot.
Yeah, that's 1/4 of the nation, man.
Yeah, because what is
And then when
300?
you
It's,
talk about
yeah.
um like prescription drugs and stuff like that, I don't know what the statistic is on men, but I know with women, like I think 1/4 of every American woman is taking some type of like antidepressant or anti-anxiety drug. So that's like
Yeah.
around if there is because there are more women than men in America. So let's just say there is 170 million women in America right now. If you divide that by four, you got a little over 42 million women who are on some type of anti psychotic drug.
Okay. That shit crazy.
Yeah, man.
Like just looking at all of this. Hold on. I'm trying to copy and share this. I'm gonna say this too, because I'd be liking to have it where I can go back
Mm-hmm.
and save it. It said mental illness is among the most common health condition in the United States. More than 50% will be diagnosed with a mental illness or disorder at some point in their lifetime. 1 in 5 Americans will experience a mental illness in a given year. So they still say over 50% will be diagnosed with a mental illness or disorder.
Mm. Probably like probably like depression, anxiety.
Hold on.
Something like
Let's see
that.
let's see what's considered a mental illness.
Okay.
Mental illness and health conditions involving changes in emotion, thinking, or behavior, or a combination of these. Mental illnesses are associated with distress and other problems functioning in social work or family activities. Mental illness is nothing to be ashamed of. What is mental illness? What is a mental illness? Mental illnesses are health conditions involving changes in emotion, thinking, or behavior, or a combination of these mental illnesses. Associations. Mental illness is common in a given year, and nearly 1 in 5 19% U.S. adults experience some form of mental illness. One in 24, 4.1% has a serious mental illness. What the fuck is a mental illness compared to serious mental illness? One in 12, 8.5 has a diagnosable substance and use disorder. What does diagnosable substance use disorder mean? What do it mean, like drug or something?
Probably so. Yeah, I never heard that before. Or probably
Mental.
probably like a code. Like how you were saying earlier, how people have like a codependency on drugs
Yeah.
to cope with like their, I guess, like mental issues or just cope with life in general. That's probably what they're alluding to. That's what I'm gathering.
Yeah. Let me say this part too. So I can always go back and reference stuff. Cause it's like, what I hate when you talk to people, you be like, well, I read X, Y, and Z. And then they were like, well, show it to me. And then you can't find the shit you trying to show them.
Anything you bullshitting.
They swear you're bullshit. So now what I do is when I see something, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm finna bookmark this shit. Oh, I'm finna say this because when I say stuff that I know what the fuck I'm talking about, it's like when I need to pull the receipts out, I can't never find that shit.
Ooh, gotta have those CVS receipts, man.
Got to, because people will think you be talking crazy and shit.
Yeah, man.
My son in here, he acting up, he crying.
Yeah, I hear him. I said, "Ooh, baby boy."
Yeah, he calling for me. I might have to go get him. Hold on, I might just see what he do if he'll sit down real quick. Cause we having a good talk. He'll sit right. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey, my bad, bro.
Nah, you good, man. Sorry I did the trick, man.
Yeah, my bad. But yeah, like this shit cool because like I always like learning stuff, but I like to get the actual facts of everything that
Yeah, yeah, man.
research. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I'm telling you, bro. Especially nowadays, man, when people just be having a lot of these emotional responses to shit, and I'm like, do you really understand what you're being upset or mad about, or you just choosing to be mad because everybody else is choosing to be mad about it?
That's why I tell you, bro. People are so brainwashed. They can't even think for themselves, bro. Like literally, people cannot think for themselves, especially like women. And I ain't even talking about like on some man better than women on type shit. It's like
Oh no, no,
literally,
no.
you can see like how what women like women. You know that shit your mom used to tell you if X, Y, if Johnny jumped off the bridge, would you jump off the bridge too?
Mm-hmm.
And you would be like, no. But it seemed like with women, the shit that they go along with society is they all jumping off the fucking bridge together, back, bro.
It's that biological imperative, bro. Like women in general have more of a communicative mindset than men do.
Yeah,
Women tend to go with what the crowd says because a lot of that goes into their hard wiring of understanding like, hey, I can't really go against the grain because if I go against the grain, then that can mean me possibly being ostracized.
yeah,
And that's one thing that women hate or fear more than anything else is being ostracized from a population, from a group. So they feel like a lot of times, well, let me get along and stay alone
yeah,
instead of being able to think with their own minds. But men, we're more so are contrarian in our thoughts and are more willing to I don't want to say think outside the box, but more so are willing to research it for ourselves to come up with our own opinion instead
mhm,
of just going on with what everybody else is feeling or thinking.
yeah. And that's the crazy shit that I be seeing with. But we get to the point where the men again
And
like
it's starting to think the same way, bro. Like I, mm, I don't know if I
yeah,
should bring it up because I know I ain't
go ahead, go ahead. Shit, we talking about it.
said fuck you. When the ruling came down last month about Roe v. Wade,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and I'm seeing all these dudes talking about, man, listen, no man, had no place in what a woman could do with her body. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, are you saying that because you really feel that? Or you only saying that shit because you know that women have been saying that for a long time too?
But a lot of the men been raised by single mothers, so they've been indoctrinated and got that same talking point and the woman's issue. Because you got to understand, it's only a woman's issue when she want to kill it, but when she want to keep it, it takes two parties. So
Us niggas.
y'all, yeah, bruh, think about this. Think about this is some deep ass shit, right? Think about this shit. So I was watching Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Dave Chappelle
Oh shit. They
said
stand up.
the stand up. Yes, listen, this how this nigga is a visionary, bro. I watched it. Roe v. Wade came out. I watched it. I'm like, God damn, he was predicting this shit.
Yeah.
So he was
I
like, he said, you know, when it comes to abortion, men shouldn't have no say in it. And then the women start screaming. And then he was like,
hold up,
well,
hold up.
hold up, basically, hold up. But if you can kill this motherfucker, I can abandon him. Right. And
Mm-hmm.
he was like, y'all women, I'm not saying that y'all wrong, but y'all keep on pushing and y'all keep on pushing. And since y'all keep on pushing, 8 states have made some of the most strictest abortion laws that there are. And I'm like, damn, like where he going? And he was talking about the Me Too movement and his
Mm-hmm.
friend, they had the masturbation shit and all of that. He was
Yeah,
like,
Louis C.K.
y'all keep pushing and you going you for y'all basically barking up the wrong tree. Like we giving y'all shit, but y'all all of the shit gonna backfire on y'all. And that's exactly what
Exactly.
the fuck happened. Like y'all keep pushing, and y'all pushing so hard. You got to understand, in the Supreme Court, there's nothing but men in the Supreme Court. It's one woman. I think it's one woman in the Supreme Court.
Mm.
Let me look it up. I don't want to know I'm wrong.
So I
Supreme.
want to say it's predominantly. I want to say it's a predominantly conservative Supreme Court. I think they only got like probably maybe like five if that liberals on the court. If you include Jackson.
Okay, so right now the pictures that I sent, well, the Katani Jackson girl lady.
Yeah, the woman who don't understand what a woman is, but yeah, her.
Yeah, that was some fucking bullshit. That bitch, how the fuck you don't know what a fucking woman is? And see, that's the type of shit that have us fucked up. How the fuck you don't know what a woman is and you a fucking woman? The fuck? When she said that shit, bro, I like, oh hell no. It said it got, I don't know, this picture new or old or what? Let me see. Let me see an
Oh
update
shit.
picture. How the fuck you don't know what a fucking woman is? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it's 3 women on the damn. Hold
But it's
on.
majority men for sure.
No, they got 3 women on there. I'm tripping. John
But
Roberts, Samuel Alito, Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, or how you would say that, Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, Stephen Breyer, Elena Kagan, and Sonia Sotomayor. Let me make sure this updated. So did Katani Jackson is a what you call her, right?
yeah, I want to say
It says she nominated. Let me look her up real quick.
I don't know how they do like new Supreme Court justices and stuff like that. I don't know like once they get affirmed, I don't know if they automatically join or is a waiting. I don't know. Don't don't add,
Gotta be
don't give me a
sworn
lie.
in or something like that. I'm looking it up right now. Because I'm Jackson Brown, September 14, is an American United States. She was nominated to the Supreme Court by President Joe Biden on February 25th, 2022. Juris, I'm trying to see. Oath ceremony. Okay, so I guess she got sworn in on June 30th.
So that happened I'm trying to think when the so that must have happened. So her oath must have happened afterwards then.
Yeah, it hold on.
Cause I feel like that.
Hold on.
Yeah, I think it did. Cause I want to say that shit happened like on the 24th or something like that, on the 24th of June. Cause it was on a Friday.
All right, there we go. All right, so on June 30th, let me read this shit. On June 3rd, 2002, Chief Justice Justice John G. Roberts Jr. administered the constitutional oath, and Associate Justice Stephen G. Breyer retired. So that must be who stepped down, administered a judicial oath to the Honorable Ketanji Brown Jackson in the ceremony in the West Conference Room before a small gathering of Judge Jackson's family. A formal investiture ceremony will be taking place at a later date. So they got to still have another ceremony at a later date. So I guess it ain't done yet.
Hmm.
So yeah. So I guess they got 9, but I guess it's probably gonna be 4 women now.
Mm-hmm.
That shit wild. Hold on. When she said she ain't know what a woman was, bro, that shit was wild. When she said that shit, bro, I was like, oh hell. And you can already see what she thinking. If anybody don't want to answer what a woman is, you know what's going on.
Man, that just like people talking about birthing people. Birthing people. Man, just say a woman.
Right. Right. That shit wild. Birthing people. Nigga.
Birth,
What the fuck?
birthing people.
Let's look at the definition of birthing people.
Oh, I didn't open up the box.
I can spell it right. Birthing people definition.
Oh,
Religion, born again. No, that ain't what I'm trying to do. Birthing people. Urban, a person who. Well, they got the Urban Dictionary version. This is what people who doesn't have a brain say to real women and real mothers. It's wrong and very disrespectful. Oh, I guess it's a joke.
yeah. Yeah, birthing people will be women and trans men, I would say. Cause I remember
Trying
coming
to see.
across an article where it was a trans man who still had their vital organs, female organs intact, right? And her and her
Mhm.
partner were trying to have a child, and they got pregnant through through I guess the trans man, and got upset at I guess the nursing or the is it an OBGYN that helps like give birth to a child?
Ooh, bro, I have no clue, and I don't want to, because
But
we had a midwife and we had another doctor, but I don't think it's the OBGYN.
but the person who's like the baby doctor or whatever like was like, hey, congratulations. I guess it was calling the trans man a mother, and it said fam got upset and threatened to sue the hospital.
Yeah,
And I'm sitting here like, bro, like, huh? Like, how you gonna sit here and get mad? I'm like, bro, you got a whole like, you got a you got a whole, what I'm saying, vagina, bro. Like, how you gonna get upset about that, man?
the culture war over pregnant people. Some advocates on the left want America to talk about pregnancy and birth in gender neutral terms. But this language change might not be so easy for this country to embrace. Oh, let's see what the Atlantic has, because
Lord, that's the magazine of the liberals.
oh yeah, this shit is gonna be good. Last year, a brand new labor and delivery hospital opened on the well-to-do Upper East Side of New York City. It's
Oh
named
Lord.
Alexandra Cohen hospital for women and newborns might strike most people as inoconscious. Is that how you say the word? Or straightforward. But to some people, the suggestion that the hospital where babies are born is for women is offensive because transgender and non binary people who do not identify as women can also get pregnant and deliver babies. Only niche group tends to care about how America discuss gender and pregnancy, including whether it's better to use the term pregnant people instead of pregnant women. But those groups care a lot. Representative Cory Bush, I hate that bitch. Representative Cory Bush of Missouri used the term birthing people in a hearing, causing a mini uproar on social media. When we talk about birthing people, we are being inclusive. It's simple. It's that simple fact. The pro abortion rights group NARAL tweeted in her defense. However, see this kind of language as uh, exclusionary because it erases women and mothers as worthy categories of identity. Ann Romney, the wife of Senator Mitt Romney, tweeted angrily in June. The Biden administration diminishing motherhood to birthing people is simply insulting to all moms. It was the first time she had tweeted all year.
Mm.
And yet Americans do not mainline niche politics or linguistic fights, probably because it probably don't even know this is a debate. When I text a friend in a small liberalish city about the topic recently, he had no idea what I was talking about.
Liberalish.
Huh?
I was just laughing at liberal-ish.
Oh, to understand the contours of the debate, I called Louise Milling to the deputy legal director of the American Civil Liberties Union. Oh my God, who leads projects on women's rights and the LGBTQ rights. Although she does not identify as transgender or non-binary, she is one of the country's most influential progressive legal thinkers on gender norms and the law. Other conversations have been condensed and edited for clarity. Emma Green, why would you believe it's important to shift our language around gender and pregnancy? Louise Milling. First of all, we're talking about pregnant people. That language says to people, to transgender men and non binary people, we see you. It should do a fair amount of work to help address discrimination. If we talk about pregnant people, it is a reminder to all of us to catch ourselves when we are sitting in the waiting room of the GYN that we're not going to state at the man's who's there. We're not going to stare at the man that's there. We're going to be disconcerted. More importantly, we're not going to behave in a way that makes the person uncomfortable. That signals discrimination, unwelcomeness to them. And that's increasingly important when we think about the kinds of discrimination that continues to be pervasive against transgender people and non-binary people. It's nothing short of heartbreaking to read about the experiences of transgender people seeking healthcare. If somebody is hostile to you, you're not going to be able to go back. So we have really serious consequences for transgender people who are already and really in need of healthcare, who are often of lower income because of all the discrimination they face. So if you got discrimination, you're gonna be poor, bro.
Man, oh my God, all this versatility, bro. Like, fam, I'm just gonna be real with you, bro. If when the Lord blesses me with a woman and we have a child and she's pregnant and we waiting, whatever, and I see a quote unquote trans man with a swole belly and you look like a man, I'ma look like, like, huh? Like
Right.
I think like it's one thing to try to be inclusive,
They
bro, but
they're trying to desensitize us to that shit. That's what they're trying to do.
like I'm like, bro, I'm gonna look at that joint like it's weird. I mean, they can find it being offensive all day, but I'm like, bro, like that's not normal.
Bro, hold on. The article only gets better, bro. Oh my god. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Oh shit now. This shit get only better, bro. Hold on. I want to make my screen bigger. Only get
Oh
better.
shit.
It is the reality that not only women seek abortion, it is not only women who are birthing, it is not only women who are seeking mammograms and pap smears and other care and recognizing that does real work. Oh my fucking God. Rain, this may be a hard to summarize, but where do things stand, both in terms of how these terms are used legally, but also how they're used in the culture? Milling. It's interesting to me, for example, that the CDC website now speaks of pregnant people with every passing year. It's more pervasive. My GYN just talked to me about this. Oh, I just learned this and was really working to change her language. Bro, this article is the stupidest shit I fucking read in probably ever, bro. This part right here says
Bruh.
is it is reality that not only women seek abortion, it is not only women who are birthing, it is not only women who are seeking mammographs and pap smears and other care, and recognizing that does real work. What the fuck? If you got a dick, how you get a pap smear with a dick, bro? Like I'm just saying, that should literally. I'm going to title this. How do you get a pap smear with a dick?
Facts.
Like, like they're really trying to desensitize us and make us think this shit is cool. And see, this is one of the issues that my wife was talking about. Like, yeah, point in time, I didn't give a fuck about people being gay or what the fuck they had going on and shit like that. But
Yeah.
when I gotta read this and they're trying to, tell her you go to schools now, you see all the flags and you know what's going on, and they trying to push it and have the LGBTQ clubs and all of this shit, it kind of makes you be like, as a parent, I have to care now.
Yes, bro. Because now, because you gotta think, man. Like, I mean, it was a lot of hoopla about um transgenders and drag queens wanting to go into the schools and to read to the kids, man.
Mhm.
Talking about cause individuals on the left or the liberals, they really try to push for inclusion and wanting them to understand about other individuals and their lifestyles. I'm like, okay, like, can it not wait? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you trying to already infiltrate kids who are already impressionable about lifestyles that they don't, in my honest opinion, don't need to try to learn until they're much older where they can
Right.
compartmentalize things. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I would imagine if I'm 5 years old and I see this this big burly dude, but he got on makeup and shit, I'm be a little bit confused.
Right.
Like what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? You even got people like RuPaul said about this shit. And I'm like, huh? What? Like, are we really trying to make an argument about this seriously? You
Yeah, they're
know?
seriously trying to make an argument about this. Like that's the weirdest thing ever.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just a sign of the times, man. It's just a sign of the times of what we live in, man. And what's being pushed, man. That's why so many countries, man, they laughing at us, bro. They left out the United States, man. They like, but they tripping. That's why you got. That's why I think in communist countries like China, bro, they don't even got the internet, bro.
Yeah. Well, that's for control.
Well, yeah, that and then trying to maintain a certain traditionalism. I would assume too.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see what I just typed. I said, how many people agree with transgender issues? American lesbian gender identity. Who wrote this? Oh, this is Pew. Maybe they won't be. What leaning they is? They left or right leaning?
Pew Research.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be neutral.
I know this ain't neutral now because I the first thing it says Americans' complex view on gender identity and transgender issues.
Uh,
Most favor this is what it says. The first line. Most favor protecting trans people from discrimination. Okay, I read it wrong. I think we can all agree on that. But fewer support policies related to medical care for gender transition. Many are uneasy with the pace of change on trans issues. Okay, so maybe that is because I agree. I don't think nobody should be hurt of no shit like that because they trans. I don't believe in that shit. Like if you want to be
yeah,
trans,
like
cool,
hate
but don't
crimes and
just
stuff like that.
yeah, I'm okay with that. As the United States addresses the issue of transgender rights and a broader landscape around gender identity continues to shift, the American public holds a complex set of views around the issue, according to a new Pew Research study. Oh, let me share my screen because
Okay.
I keep forgetting. I be want people to see what the fuck going on. I want them to be like I'm just up here just doing shit.
People tends to be a bit, balanced, when they come there reporting and stuff.
But you can see it clear on your side.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I see it.
All right. Yeah. So what it say? It say neither favor or oppose 25%. Hold on, what is this study? What is this graph? Saying they would most most favor protecting trans people from discrimination, even as growing share say gender is determined by sex at birth. Percentage say they would laws or policies that I guess support, but they got it blanked out. Why they don't have? Oh, I guess I got it now. Okay. So percentages say they would strongly favor laws or policies that will protect transgender people from discrimination in jobs, housing. This shit is stupid. Of course, nobody want that.
Yeah, they think like people
They
just
say
want
the
them to
public is
hurt.
divided over the extent of which our society has accepted people who are transgender. 38% says society has gone too far in accepting them, while a roughly equal share, 36% says society hasn't gone far enough. About 1 in 4 said things haven't been have been right about. Said things have been right about, underscoring the public's ambivalence around the issues, even among those who see at least some discrimination against trans people. A majority of 54% says society has either gone too far or been about right in terms of acceptance. Hmm. Let me say this because I go back and read this whole article. It's getting late now. We've been on this bit for a minute now, bro.
Yeah, love for 2 hours now.
Yeah, we've been on. But I want to ask you this before we get out. We can rehash this conversation later on.
Okay, okay, okay.
How was COVID?
Oh man, shit, man. I got what 2 more days.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 more days, man. It is weird, man, because I had went into work, bro, and I tend to have like summer colds on and off and stuff like that, man. And when I got the cough, I was like, bro. And I remember when I got it last year, I was like, bro, like I know, like hell, I ain't got this shit, bro. And I remember, my mind manager came up to me. She was like, you okay, Bill? And I'm like, I think so, shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she was like, hey, let me know if you gotta, leave and get it checked out, man. And I remember I went to American Family Care, got a test done. They was like, um, you know, you ain't got nothing but come back in a couple of days, and I be damned. I came back on 3 days. 3 days later, and they said I had that shit. I was like, fuck, I knew it, man.
Damn. So, was it bad? Have you had it before? This your first time or
Oh
second
yeah, yeah.
time?
I had it. Man, honestly, bro, if I'm gonna be real with you, bro, I really think this may be my third time, but it's my second time officially.
Yeah.
Cause I remember kind of feeling like this, like around like February of 2020.
Yeah.
But nobody really knew what it was. A lot of people were just saying that, just probably like just a bad cold or anything like that, and just took like a steroid shot for that shit. But I had got it officially back last August.
Yeah.
So I kind of was familiar with like the symptoms or whatever. But it's funny now how I guess because the majority of Americans have gotten the vaccine shot,
Yeah.
that the recovery time, because I don't know how it was for you, but like they said, yeah, you just gotta just quarantine for like 5 days now.
Yeah. Because
You know what I'm
when
saying?
it first popped out, they were telling you to quarantine for 30, like
Oh
20 days. It was like some wild shit.
yeah, and then it's like it seemed like it was going down and down and down. Like, cause when I had it, they said to just do it for like 10 days.
Yeah.
The first time, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, like shit. In a minute, they gonna just say shit, just a day, a day or two,
Yeah.
and it make you kind of question, like it kind of make you question, like, damn, like is that shit even really like serious, like that how they make it seem? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, bro, that shit. Now, like, my second time catching it, because I had like a week or two ago, and
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't as bad. And my first time, I feel like somebody beat my ass. But this last time, I had got the call. Like, I never lost smell or taste or nothing like that. I was just having fevers and body aches. Like the body aches was so bad. Like, bro, I woke up one morning. It's like I was working out hard, so I didn't know, right? And then so I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it's just body ache, like just being sore. But then my ass, bro, like my butt cheeks, it felt like I was like, I ain't even do work out my legs, so I don't know why I'm so. And then it went down to my thighs, got sore, and then my calf muscles was so. I'm like, why the fuck I feel like this? And then next thing I know, my back was sore, and then I was like, oh yeah, I think I got this shit, bro. And then I went and took the damn test or whatnot, and I was like, "Fuck, I got the damn Rona and shit." And I was mad as hell because I was like, "I done went this long without catching this shit." And like I said, I think they souped it up. They went back in the lab to make sure they get the real thing this time. I know what that is. They were like, "Fuck it, it's too many people that didn't get this shit." Bro, I was still working. I never shut down. I was still around people, going places and shit. Like I never got, and I wasn't even scared really to catch it. It was just like, I ain't got no pre-existing health conditions, and here I've
Right.
been saying, other people just bounce back, and I was like, shit, if it's my time to go, it's just my time to go. Hey, I got $1 million life insurance policy. My family be straight, so I'm like,
Hello.
it is what it is, my nigga. I don't
Yeah,
want
bro.
to go like that, but that's how it was.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like now, when I caught it the first time, I did temporarily like lose like my taste and smell for a little bit. I was like, oh shit, like they wasn't bullshit. Like this shit really do happen, goddamn. Like couldn't smell shit, couldn't taste shit. I'm like, bruh, like if I fuck around and not have this shit come back, I'm gonna be mad as hell. But
Yeah.
it eventually came back, and like this go around, like I still got my taste and my smell, so it ain't as bad as it was before. So that's a good thing. So
Yeah. Well, I was just asking. I hope you heal up, everything go good, you get back out there and shit like that. How did you do your dance at the Word Game?
yeah, man, we performed last Friday, man. So apparently, I guess they was letting like dance groups and stuff like that perform during like that. I
What
call
can I
that
see real
that
quick? What can I
hour,
look at?
that rush hour, like 5 to 6, because we had our
Yeah.
was that.
I said, what can I watch it real quick?
I seen the videos.
You ain't got on
Because
your page.
I don't know if they recorded it themselves, but I seen the videos.
Oh, I was gonna say so people can see you doing what kind of dance y'all was doing?
Man, we was doing man salsa, bachata, and then we did one hip hop routine
Oh, okay.
to Essence. So,
Okay, you was
but
actually dancing there.
mm, yeah, I
Okay.
was in like three of the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they did like a quick impromptu bachata class or whatever for the folks that was still out there after we got through doing our 'cause we did like 5 performances in all.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we had our, I guess you could call them our brother or sister group from Huntsville, Balia. Like they came down Friday and they did, I guess, a performance too. So just what I'm saying, just like I guess like people in the state and surrounding areas come in and have a little exposure and stuff like that. Just overall, just like a good look, because we kind of got like we kind of Birmingham Slick kind of got a dance scene, man, low key,
Mm-hmm.
and just exposing that some more. But it was good though. It was good just to put on for the city overall.
Yeah. Well, I'll just ask you because I know you said it, but like I said, send me some video because I wanted to see. I was excited. I only went out there and caught Big Boy. I was gonna catch Lupe, but I wasn't feeling good. No, I had got drunk that Saturday night, so I was drunk the whole Sunday. So I like fucking I ain't
Ooh, okay, that recovery.
yeah, that shit was bad. I was like, I ain't drinking again. But then I caught Big Boy. Big Boy was pretty cool. It was swinging out there. It was a lot
I
of people.
heard,
Man, it was a lot of the city showed out on that one. But yeah, it was a
I
lot of
heard,
people.
I heard, man. I heard, bro. Folks still a little outcast, man.
Yeah. But I'm gonna let you go. You wanna tell them your social media handles where they can find
Oh
you?
yeah,
Yeah.
man. Shit.
Spell it out too.
Instagram, Sir Bradley Ashton, all one word. Facebook, Sir Bradley Ashton, two R's in the Sir.
All right. It is the new normal podcast. It is getting late. This is a
Yep.
place where we talk about
Hope
the
it.
good, the bad, and the ugly. Where hot is cold and cold is hot, right is wrong, wrong is right, up is down, and down is up. Where the things that used to be odd isn't so odd today, and the things that were normal are odd. This is a new normal podcast, and we are out. Peace.